Hey y'all, it's Natalie Dill here for A Cherry on Top, and our Technique Tuesday theme this month is mixed media. So I'm going to be creating an 8x8 layout for my travel album using these new Lindy's magical shakers. I have this foundations paper. It's a 6x8 piece from the Arden Creative Collection. I'm going to wad it up. It's actually a really thin piece of paper. So it lends really well to being treated this way. And I just wanted it to look really nice and rustic. And now I'm going to go onto the paper with this fun desert stencil and then a really thin layer of my favorite matte texture paste from Ranger. And I'm not going to remove the stencil before I sprinkle the magical powders on top. Now I will say I did not put any gesso on this page because I wasn't planning to put much water, but usually this technique works with a really wide spaced stencil. So when your holes on your stencil are very wide and you get a lot of area for the texture paste to kind of absorb the magicals. So I didn't get as much color on this first bit that I desired. I do give it a quick spritz with my mister. I'm holding it really far away. I just want to activate those powders. But you can see it's not super colorful, so I'm trying to tap it down, and I'll do better on the next pass. But I'll also show you another way that I end up just adding color. When you add these nice, fun crystal-like powder granules on top of the texture paste, you can see them separate. You don't have to spritz them, and the color kind of sets into the texture paste, and it's really fun. But again, it works well with bigger spaces, but also I didn't really want another larger stencil on such a small scrapbook page. So just figure out what works best for you. But you can see I'm adding a little bit more color this time, and I will go in with a spritz. Again, I did not put gesso on this page, so just be really careful you do not oversaturate it. But you can see the color blends in really nicely. And then I just turn the stencil over and use that color that still exists there and kind of wipe it onto those other blank spaces. And I am going to go in with some more texture paste. You can see that I put it on my mat and I close it up because I do not want to contaminate my pristine white texture paste with this powder. And since it's already on the stencil and I'm kind of using that to spread it through, I will not be sticking my knife back into the container. So I've let it dry and it's really cool. You can just see it has a nice splash of color. It's different in different areas. These were really fun. This one I think was called Desert Rose. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to ink up the edges with the Gathered Twig Distress Oxide. And then I'm going to give it another nice rustle up there in the middle and kind of plop my brush a little bit around it and get it onto the ridges and the creases of the paper, but not all over. I didn't want to do any ink blending in a specific area. Just kind of make it look dirty, I guess. I'm going for like a desert theme. It's a photo is a picture of me on top with the desert landscape behind me, which is kind of fun. So this is a Simple Stories map paper with that same dusty rosy color. So I'm inking up the edges with that same ink, and I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom. And it matches really nicely with that Lindy's magical powder. And I'm making sure that I have a true 8x8 piece of paper to fit in my page protector. And you can see like it brings out all the purples that are in that photo really nicely. Or pinks, dusty pink, whatever you want to call it. So I have these cute little cacti from Lawn Fawn, a border die. And if we have any cactus experts in the audience, yes, I know these don't really happen in the area we were in, these type of cactus, but they're cute and it works, so I wanted to use them. I did want a little bit of a solid color of this dark brown just to finish out that border that I'm going to place along the bottom there and kind of overlap my photo a little bit. So this is a really fun page to put together, and it came together really quickly. I like vacation pages because not everything has to be some big story or something, which is normally what I try to put into my scrapbooking, which I love to do. But on our vacations like this, I'm just kind of showcasing the photos, and the amazing views kind of speak for themselves. So one thing to also remember when you're doing mixed media is that use a lot of adhesive, stick it down really well, because sometimes things don't really love to stick to, if you use gesso, they don't love to stick to gesso or the texture paste and things like that. So I'm just really loading up the adhesive on these items here. But again, this was a perfect example of where I didn't have to use gesso. Of course, I was intending my page to look distressed. But I wasn't adding a lot of liquid to my page, and I knew that I wasn't going into it, so I did not add any gesso. Plus, I was out of clear gesso, so all I had was white, and I didn't want a white background. So, but I know a lot of people may be turned off by mixed media if they have to do a lot of dry time, but this didn't require it, because I didn't add gesso, and the texture paste dries super quick. You can aid that with your heat gun just a little bit. You don't want to hold the heat gun on it too long, because it will bubble up or maybe singe your product, but also that lends to a cool look if you're also looking for a distressed look, which is pretty much my go-to. Especially on this type of album. I mean, in the desert, I'm gonna have a distressed look. I am throwing in some older stuff from Prima, that they had an old desert collection that was just super perfect for these photos. So I'm mix and matching that with the Simple Stories, Simple Woodlands, is that what it is? Yep, Simple Vintage Woodlands. And then that is a little bit from the Wanderlust Explorer by 49 Market, because it is always fabulous for your travel photos. So that cacti is from that Prima collection, Golden Desert, and those puffies. And then in the final photos, you'll see that I added a few glitter drops from Pink Fresh Studio, and I will link all of that in the gallery at A Cherry on Top. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you were inspired to create your own mixed media page today. Bye, y'all.